Coming up next, from San Fran Freak Show, the Savage Nation. From Talk 910 KNEW.
Armstrong and Getty. They're not bullies with a microphone. Weekday morning, 6 to 10. Talk 910 KNEW.
Warning. The Michael Savage Show contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation. Here is Michael Savage.
It's the Savage Nation. Don't get scared. All right, so here's what's happening. Play it a little, just in a few seconds more. Stravinsky's Firebird Suite. Let me tell you why we're playing it. Now, normally you're used to heavy metal or rock and roll in the Savage Nation, and I understand that. Saturday morning, I woke up real early, and I started to write the script for my documentary, The True Life Story of Michael Savage. It's going to be based in part upon the New Yorker profile that came out last week. Many people were traveling. They don't know about it. But it was a very big deal to me, and I covered it almost all of last week. And I still hardly recommend you go out and buy the New Yorker to get the profile. I think it's sold out. You'll never find it. But it's an interesting change for me and for the New Yorker. And it's ironic that no one on the conservative side in the mainstream media, the National Review and all of the old-line conservative publications, they pretend I don't exist. And it's just ironic that an icon of the liberal world, the New Yorker, would feature Michael Savage in a major profile, and they did a good job. So I start to write the opening to the documentary. I put on Stravinsky's Firebird Suite, and I start writing about people, and I say, of the billions of people who have lived and will live, this is there were billions of stories, and this is one of them. It was a takeoff of the old New York, one of the homicide shows. In this city, there are 9 million stories, or 6 million stories. This is one of them. So I say, of the billions of lives that have been lived on the earth, this is one of them. And we are all basically born for a short dance in the sun. Take it for what it is. So I'm playing Stravinsky in order to write it. And then I think to myself later on, you know, if you go highbrow, you're going to lose your core audience. Don't do it. So play Rammstein, I said to myself, because your audience expects that. So play Rammstein for a minute. Okay? Okay, so you got the picture of what was going on in my head. So it's not sort of the two sides of Michael Savage. It's the fact that my 15 years in radio have been amazing, and it's built upon a certain personality, a certain persona. Now, the New Yorker profile was written by a brilliant man who understood the artist beneath the polemicist. Most of the media are very foolish people, facile, not well-read, no literary background. They're stupid, in other words. And they see only the polemicist, or hear only the polemics. They don't understand what's behind it, because they don't listen for it. And so, therefore, I said to myself, you can lose your core audience if you start playing highbrow with them. And so, that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I am who I am. So I'm on my bicycle this morning in a disconnected manner. Now, you got to understand this is free associational, along the lines of what we talked about last week, where the Irish writer from the 1600s, or was it in the 1700s? Tristram Shandy was the name of the story. That was the modern version of the beginning of the stream of consciousness. And this show is as much stream of consciousness as anything else. Sometimes things come up that I'm not even aware of. So I'm on my bicycle this morning saying, what the heck am I going to talk about today? I'm burned out. I went through this last week to the New Yorker. There's nothing in the news. I'm not interested in this whole deal with Obama. I know that he's a faker. We understand he's the joker. We understand he's a stealth Marxist. We know he's surrounded by criminals and gangsters, and everyone's catching on. 58% of the American people not sure Obama is born in the United States. That is 58% of Republicans who think Obama wasn't born in the U.S. or aren't sure. You hear this? This is an amazing fact. And so that's a big story. But I said, look, it's being covered by others in the media. It's not my story, so I can't deal with that one. All of a sudden, I'm on the bicycle. This comes to my mind, and I'm going to read you exactly what I called into the call-in line. A religious man wakes up in the middle of his life, maybe age 50. He looks around at the landscape of his life, and he looks at what's happened to him, to his wife, his children, his relatives, his mother, his father. And the religious man starts to wonder, all that I've denied in my life, all the impulses that I've controlled, all the prayer, all the devotion to God, and look what's happened to me anyway. Look what happened to my son. Look what happened to my daughter. Does worship really have any meaning, he starts to ask? And if it does, why hasn't God heard my prayers? Why haven't I been rewarded in this life for my devotion to God, he thinks. Now, the irreligious man or the atheist wakes up in midlife. He doesn't believe in God. He looks around at the landscape of his life, and he thinks, what's happened to me? Look what's happened to my wife. Look what's happened to my daughters. Look what's happened to my son. Look what's happened to my sister. Look how my mother suffered. Look how my father suffered. The irreligious man sees a landscape of humanity and its suffering. And he begins to wonder, did God punish me for not worshiping God? Have I been punished for leading a dissolute, anti-godly life? And he thinks, should I become more religious? Should I abandon any of my irreligious ways? At a certain point, the good and the bad are the same. At a certain point, both sides of the coin make the coin. That's it. End of story. Play either Firebird Suite or Rammstein, because I don't care. Damn spot out, I say. 1-800-449-8255. You can't call on this. This is not the kind of stuff that you heard on Golfer or Wallbanger, so there's nothing you could do with this. So let me tell you how my documentary film, The Michael Savage Story, is going to open. I'm going to give you the opening. This is the funny part. I spoke to a film crew today as I'm analyzing who to work with, and one of them had written me and said, you're one of the most important thinkers of our time. I said, yes, I know that. And he said, we want to do this documentary. It's very important we do it. And I read the article from the New Yorker, and he says, Savage's thoughts on dying are often informed by Buddhist theories of enlightenment and reincarnation. And during one digression, he staged his own afterlife as an improvised two-character dramatic scene. God says to Savage, there is no such thing as time. The whole thing is all a racket. There's no time. Clocks have no meaning. Dolly was closer to the truth. Clocks are all bent. Because the hands move, but nothing else moves. So here it is, Savage. You're going to be reborn again in Mount Sinai Hospital in the year you were born to the exact same parents, and you're going to go through the same, very same life again. Michael Savage, deceased, says, no, I don't want that. God says, why? It was so bad? You want me to make you a bug? Savage, no, but do I have to do that all over again? Everything again? The meatloaf on the wall, the whole thing, the fights in grade school all over again? Love by the sewer plant? The nympho at Alley Pond Park, affirmative action, the radio career. God says, why, that wasn't good enough for you? Would you like something else? Savage says, no, God, I'll take it. So I'm opening the movie with that. And it's either going to be animated or acted out where I play God and I hire a 12-year-old kid to play me. Well, he couldn't be 12 asking those kinds of questions. But you understand what I'm saying? It may be an animation opening with the titles running over that. I'm going to tell you the next scene of the movie, because it's all in my head. The whole movie's been written in my head already. I know where I'm going. I'm going to rent one of the most beautiful theaters in the San Francisco Bay Area with gilt balconies. Maybe in Oakland they have an old theater. I'm going to give out free tickets to my fans, my most devoted fans, who are those who've contributed to the Savage Defense Fund. and we're going to put in the 500 to 1,000 people, as many as I can fit in. I mean, there's more than that who've contributed. Most of them don't all live in the Bay Area, so. And the next scene, we're going to go from that two-man thing, the Ionesco thing, to a screaming, cheering crowd with Savage driving out on the stage in his red '65 Cadillac. And remember I did that at the Concord Pavilion. I came out in the Cadillac. Only this time, instead of being stopped by red lights, I'm going to be stopped by, well, I can't give you the rest of the story. You'll have to wait for the movie, maybe a year from now. On that note, it's ready. I'm ready to open the show. So let's play Fats Domino with the Monday song that I usually open the show with. No, that's not Fats Domino. That's the one, Blue Monday. Always a Blue Monday at the Savage Nation. It will always be Blue Monday for me. And a Blue Tuesday, and a Blue Wednesday, and a Blue Thursday,